where all of this shit can be fixed.
Go ahead, L.
All right, I want to address three things real quick before we move on. CT and what's his name? Illasophical.
Just say Illa. Just say Illa, bro. Just say Illa.
Illa. All right, I didn't want to move too far from y'all little head but y'all had earlier. CT, big fan. I've been watching you on the channel, whatever. You funny as hell. But got a question. What is the universal European language? You said that in y'all look heads up. You said something about a universal language.
English.
It's
lingua
not.
franca.
It's not. It's multiple languages in Europe.
Okay.
If we're talking
English
about
is the lingua franca.
No, just let him.
English,
let him finish.
Hold on. English is a worldwide universal language, not a European universal language. You said that earlier, so I'll just make sure. Okay. Anyway, all right.
Thank you for correcting me.
All right, Illa. And like from a guy, again, I'm a mudblood, but I was raised in an African home, so it's fun and funny to see, like, when I watch brothers from America, like, try to tap into our culture and our history or whatever. I was watching YouTube go back and forth or whatever, and from my perspective, I didn't see either one of you making any stronger point than the other. So I want to ask you, where do you get your information? Because you were saying something, you made a comment about, like, check the history or check the whatever. So where do you get your data from, or where do you get your information from, as far as the Moors and all this stuff you speaking on?
Many books, just like when you go to college, they give you like a list of like literature to look up things. So I have 3 books right here because I don't like to just talk shit. Here's one book you can read for yourself. You see this, everybody? Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams. This is one book. A lot of people just be running their fucking mouth. Here's another book. It's called The Dogs of God by James Reston. Columbus, the Inquisition, and the Defeat of the Moors. That's 2 books. Here's another book. The Iceman Inheritance. Prehistoric sources of Western man's racism, sexism, and aggression. So when I open my mouth and say something, ain't just because I Google some shit, ain't just because I'm just anti my people. I'm coming from a perspective of verified scholarship, and I read other books because everybody doesn't have everything correct. So I read, I cross-reference. It's based on experience. It's based on just my own discernment, but it's rooted in truth. There's other dude, I didn't hear any references. I just heard a lot of colloquialisms, a lot of assumptions, just some, because my thing is, I don't feel like I have all the answers. That's why I'm always pointing people to read, because if I'm just telling you this and telling you that, that's ego. If I'm giving you my sources, that opens the door for not only for you to learn, but for me to be corrected. So I know a lot of people be like, oh, it'll be tripping, it'll be tripping. It'll really from the hood for real. I know what it's like to not have. I know what it's like to have to deal with that. And I know people, I know the other side when you finally get it together. When I just hear Black people get online and not just talk about, the race issues as far as Africans, just when they just spew so much ignorance and so much hate for Black men and Black women, it's just tiring, because it's like, we wasn't always at this point. You go back just 60, 50 years ago, we had a whole different type of vibration within our community. And the fact that people just totally throw away all of history, all the things that happened to us, just because somebody Black teased them when they was little, or some Black woman curved them, now they just hate everybody. Every race on the planet venerates their history. They never talk about, they're always talking about the past. They're always waving their flags. They're always trying to remind you of where they come from. So the whole world is based on an acknowledgement of history. Come on, Ham.
No, because
the whole world is always.
You gotta end it because it'll get redundant to a point.
All right, so all right.
Y'all got it. Scholarship. If you ain't got no scholarship, if you ain't got no direction appointment, I don't give a fuck what you got to talk about. I just gave y'all 3 books, not more.
So my last question to you, all those books you just showed me, how many Africans wrote those books?
I mean, it's black people that wrote them, it's white people that wrote them. I think do not no disrespect, but I feel like that's irrelevant. Because it's like right now, I'm gonna tell you why. If a white person told you that Malcolm X died the date he died, does it matter? Only thing that matters is if that's what happened. I don't feel like who tells it. It really doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It's about you're gonna get truth from all. I'm not racist when that's what I'm saying. It's not about race. I don't care who wrote the book. I'll read from a white person. I'll read from that's ignorant as hell. Like anybody can tell you the truth. Anybody can lie to you too. So knowledge is knowledge. You go to a college university, you go to a university, you're gonna have books written by all types of people. You studying IT.
Look, I don't disagree with what you're saying. I'm not gonna say I disagree with what you're saying. The only point I'm going to make is that at the end of the day, these books were written by people who weren't there. That's my point.
And I'm sorry, bro, but I'm
gonna leave it there. I get
okay, and I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna leave it at that.
I understand.
I'm gonna say this. I respect your view, but this is my rebuttal to that because I heard that this is one of the typical black Negro responses. We make all the excuses in the world because we don't want to read. You don't know what's in the book. So just because it's in the book don't mean it's a lie. You just have to be intellectually.
I didn't say that.
Hold on, brother. You just have to be intellectually patient and cross-reference. You read one book, you don't have all the answers. You read one, you read another one, you read another one. You cross-reference. You see what's accurate. You see what's not so accurate. It's called proofreading. Like we make all the excuses in the world because we don't want to fucking read. Like I'm not one of them niggas. I'm gonna read. So I don't. If it's bullshit, you'll find out. You see what's consistent. You read from different. That's not a history book. You can read from different scholars, and you'll get a synopsis of what you need to learn. None of them books are history books. None of those books are history books. Yeah. But when you go to college, y'all don't ask the professor that shit. Y'all don't ask him, hey, who wrote this book? Y'all read that shit. Y'all passing them essays, and you get your little mortarboard.
No. I went to college and I didn't ask those questions. So yeah. All right, we'll move on. I got you, bro.
Now here's this is why that was a good dialogue. Now here's why also I pushed back initially on what Osa and Trigger Mike is saying because it's bullshit. AO just said, and he didn't mean it maliciously. He's like, when black people try to look into our history, he made a clear delineation. And then when Illa was talking, when Illa said black people and white people wrote the book, AO said, see, it wasn't no Africans. So don't act like everybody believes that. The overwhelming majority know that we aren't the same. So let's have the conversation. Unwoke.
Right.
Same
Real
question.
talk.
We had a brief dialogue, right? What are the sentiments that you hear, that you heard, what you agree with, etc.?
Shit, I work with them, man. Lazy, can't show up to work on time, no work ethic. This is Black Americans. I mean, they don't try to hide it. They definitely draw the line in the sand. They don't even want to associate with Black Americans. This is just the group of Africans that I work with, what they relate to me, and that they don't even consider themselves quote unquote FBA, foundational Black Americans, because they have a different cultural structure, different value system, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, I don't know why we trying to like. I just think I think Black people need to we need to accept the fact. Black Americans need to accept the fact that this disassociation thing that we doing right now, like what Illa is talking about. I think that shit is just. I don't see no purpose in it. I don't see like if I could just ask you, like, what is the purpose in knowing this information? Like just knowing your history. Like what is that? How's that beneficial? Yeah, if you don't mind, man.
That's one of the dumbest statements I've ever heard in my life. I don't know why in the world.
I mean, without being condescending, if you could answer that question.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying that.
Answer how you answer.
Thank you. I'm gonna answer how I answer.
Whoa, you can respond.
In your questions, shows the problem with our people. We just are lazy, we emotional, and we don't have the fortitude to learn shit. So since we don't have the fortitude to learn it, we don't see why you want to learn it. What culture on the planet don't care about their history? Name me one culture on the planet that doesn't venerate their history and always tells you anytime. Just give me one culture who don't give a fuck about their history.
Black American.
No, I don't think there's nothing wrong with understanding your history. I don't think there's nothing wrong with understanding your history, but
if you don't know where we are right now,
well, that's what I'm saying. Like where we are right now in the context of America, where do we fall in history?
Well, since you got a lot of questions, let me read from scholarship because I don't like to talk from my mind. I'm not one of these parrots. Well, see, why is that so emotional? Why can't I read an excerpt of the book? See how y'all
look, all them African niggas just got emotional. You saw them? All them African niggas just got emotional. The nigga said he gonna read a paragraph out of book.
Go ahead. Ella, read it. Ella, go ahead, read it.
Read the ignorant ones. But when I'm about to refer to actual information, niggas get emotional. So I'm gonna read an excerpt because he just said, he said what basically he's trying to figure out what does history got to do with today? That's basically what you asked me, right? Unwoke. What does learning the past got to do with today? That's what you're trying to figure out.
No. I'm just talking about how does disassociating yourself from America, where you are today.
But that's why I'm asking. Whoever disassociate themselves from America?
Well, when Hamp initially asked the question, where you from? I think you said
I said Moorish American.
Right.
I'm American. Just like if somebody's from Chinese, they'll be a Chinese American. If you're from Nigeria, you'll be a Nigerian American. So I never dissociate myself from America. Y'all just don't be knowing what I'm talking about because y'all don't be reading shit. But I'm going to read something out this excerpt real quick to show you why history, more specifically our history, is very pertinent, and learning it is very pertinent to the American experience. See, when I study history, I don't just study stuff to sound like I just know everything. I'm not trying to sound like I'm some deep Egyptian. I study history that's relevant to the social dynamic today. So the reason why I study history, so I can know how we got to the point we at now. Because you're not gonna figure out today from some Umar Johnson lecture or from Kevin Samuels or from any of these panels. You're not gonna learn about today. You're gonna have to sit your ass down, get out your brain, and read something and get outside your intellectual comfort zone. And
all right, go ahead, read your what you was gonna read. Bro.
Yeah, man, you prefaced it.
I'm gonna read it. And I know, hopefully you can read it for yourself too, because I don't like just talking for nothing. Like y'all can find it out for yourself, because I don't have all the answers. That's why I seek out information. So this book is talking about how the Moorish conflict between the Christians and the Muslims created the social dynamic we in today, politically. So, according to the book, let me find my page. All right.
Get the likes up.
We all know about history, right? So listen. He said, in fact, it is little appreciated, especially by Americans. We in America, right? He said, in fact, it is little appreciated, especially by Americans, how intimately the discovery of the New World is bound up with the victory of Christianity over Islam in the so-called Spanish Reconquest, with the expulsion of Spanish Jews, the terrible Spanish Inquisition, and the papacy of the Borgia Pope. In this book, I have tried to make those links. It is one of the most enduring ironies of this period that the barbaric medieval institution of the Spanish Inquisition contributed greatly to the founding of the first nation state. Now listen, this is where it gets good. It has been suggested that the three most important years in American history are 1492. Does anybody know what happened in 1492?
Yeah, we sailed the ocean blue.
Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
That ain't just what happened. He sailed it from somewhere else. That's when the Moors fell from Spain and Ferdinand and Isabella took over. And then that's when the Moors fell out of Spain. That's what happened in 1492. But that happened in Spain. But he said that's the most important year in American history. So listen, he said it has been suggested that the three most important years in American history are 1492, 1776, and 1865. Now we know 1776, independence of America, 1865 with the Civil War. He said of these three,
End of the Civil War.
He said of these three, 1492 goes far beyond American history. It is pivotal as well in Spanish history, in Jewish history, in Arab history, in world and church history. Indeed, it is difficult to imagine another single year in the past millennium when so many significant strands of history came together and so changed the world in one swoop. The completion of the 500-year movement to conquer the Moors, the end of the 800-year reign of glorious culture of Islamic Spain, the consolidation of the modern Spanish state, the sinister explosion of the Spanish Inquisition, the Spanish Renaissance in art and literature, the expulsion of the Jews, the discovery of the New World, and the subsequent division between of the world between Spanish and Portuguese spheres of influence. So when people say dumb shit as if black people didn't do nothing, according to that one book, when black people fell out of power, the entire world changed in one moment. So that shows you there is some significance to knowing what happened back then, because it'll give you a bigger picture of how we got here today. But I digress.
Yeah, but what did they do when they was in power though? Like, come on, man.
You said what?
How do you know that you are the descendant of the Moors?
That's not the argument, right?
He said he's a Moorish. He said he's a Moorish American.
I know, but Unwoke. Listen. Unwoke asked it, why does it matter, right? So he answered with saying they said that the fall of the Moors was most significant, one of the most significant times in American or in history period in 1492. That's why the history matters, and know where you come from to understand the type of people you come from, right? You're not just a downtrodden, enslaved people. That's what he was trying to articulate. The Unwoke. Unwoke. Did you want to respond?
I just think that further validates this whole bullshit ass oppressive narrative. I mean,
so you saying that niggas ain't lazy?
No. I'm saying niggas have a choice. That's all I'm saying. You have a choice. That's what this whole country is predicated on. You have the free choice to fuck your life up or choose to do something with your life. That's what the founding principles is on. It's an idea.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a good point. I agree with that. But at the same time, when we get to this African shit, the lazy motherfuckers, drug addicts, whores, all these motherfuckers that don't accomplish nothing back in Africa, they don't get a chance to come across this water to sit in y'all face morning, noon, and night. They don't. Y'all motherfuckers go through leap and bounds, through hell and high water, through death and everything else just to get that motherfucking green card to come over here and get the same benefits that I got over here that I was born with. So yes, you may be of higher level than what's back home, but when you come over here, you just a regular average black motherfucker over here with me too. You ain't no fucking better.
Yep.
But look, Can
I answer a question?
Hold on.
I just want to answer your question because you brought up the Moorish thing. I just want to answer that.
Go ahead.
Because regardless of what, I got love for everybody on this panel. I might not agree with anybody's goofy ass sentiments, but I don't hate nobody up here because I see when I see brothers, I just see an aspect of myself. What frustrates me is the love I got. I'm mad out of love. I'm not mad because I want to punch on somebody. I love our people. It makes me mad when we so frustrated with our people till we just shit on our people in front of the whole world as if that don't matter. That's not cool. If you think knocking your people is cool, you think that makes you fit in, you're a fucking fool. And it's people like you that has been used to get our people to the situation that they're in right now.
Who are you referring to?
Dumbass nigga to pull with and to play with.
Who are you referring to?
I'm talking to anybody. Anybody in this place.
You said you. Who is you?
No, I'm not talking about you, bro. I'm just saying you ain't saying nothing.
No, I'm saying who are you referring to?
I said thoughts. Anybody who got a thought. Who am I referring to? You saying who am I referring to? As far as I mean, it depends on the topic. Chaotic said a lot of shit that was very crazy as fuck. You didn't say nothing crazy. You just speaking from no disrespect. You're just speaking from a place of ignorance. You just don't know, and that's fine because if you don't know something, that don't mean you dumb. Not knowing something just means you don't know. Bro, I'm trying to explain to you, bro. Like, am I talking Spanish? See, that's what I'm saying. Like, niggas are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. You asked about Moors, right? So the word Moor.
No. That's not what I asked you. Hold on. So let me reiterate my question. All right.
You said okay.
Hold on. Let's reverse.
Go ahead.
You said earlier. You said that you are a more American, and I asked you, how do you know that you are the descendant of a Moor. How do you know that?
I'm about to tell you.
Just say it. Like all this other stuff, like it's so extra, bro.
Go ahead, let him
I'm not extra, bro. It's called elaborating. I know a lot of us got these microwave minds, but sometimes you have to elaborate to get your point. I'm sorry that I talk like this. I'm not a microwave.
Bro, I told you where I'm from within 30 seconds. Why can't you tell me where you from? I told you where I'm from.
I told you where I'm from.
Like
I said I'm from America.
Why can't you
I'm
tell me
from
where
New
you're
Jersey.
from?
Bro, you just asked me, how do I know I'm a Moor, right?
Just tell me.
I will tell you, but can you
Okay,
listen?
go ahead.
All right. The word Moor just describes a dark-skinned person. That's why if you talk to people that's Spanish, if you was dark-skinned and you're Spanish, they don't call you Negro. They call Black Americans Negro because we call ourselves that. But if you was Puerto Rican or Dominican, they would call you what? Moreno. Because that's an ancient word to describe a person of color. They removed that word and started calling you Black. That's why even in West Africa, once upon a time, it was called what? Mauritania. So the word Moor, Mari, Mary, has always been a word to describe people of color regardless of where they are in the world. For example, I can be from Japan, I can be from China, I can be from Vietnamese, but collectively they are what? Asian. I can be from Nigeria, I could be from Russia, I could be from Haiti, I could be from Jamaica, but collectively we are Moorish. That's why even Jamaicans, they call themselves the Maroons or the Cameroons. So it's about, the problem is, brother, our people don't read. So they just want to argue and pick apart because they know they're not going to read shit. So they're just going to question the people who do claim to read. But I'm going to tell you what to do. Go read it for yourself. Don't worry about what I think.
What if Black people just don't read that shit, though?
That's on them. What the Bible say, as for me and my house, we shall serve the Lord. You do what the fuck you want to do, but I'm going to read and my child going to read.
I'm just not saying.
You ain't gotta see it. It ain't everybody to see.
I appreciate you. Listen, I appreciate it. I listen, man. I listen to what you said, man. I'm just saying, I'm not seeing how that has any bearing on Black Americans today. Like I get it for their own edification.
More just means black. That's what it means.
No, more means more.
Like, well, I mean, you didn't say.
He
You
defined
didn't
it.
know word salad, bro.
All right, let's not go back into it. Right?
You just don't know what
Morris. All right. Morris is dark. It's dark-skinned people that look like us.
So
right?
where you from then? Like,
so he's from Jersey. He's American. All right. Y'all niggas ain't. Now I'm getting confused now. Right. So he said more. Okay, more is how you define a dark-skinned person. Okay. Right. That's why he grouped Haiti. You can be from Russia. If you're a dark skin coming with this melanin complexion, you're Moorish, right? So he doesn't use the term black. He uses the terms Moor, right?
Semantics.
That's what he's saying. That's all it is.
Okay.
That ain't semantics, nigga. You just got up on this panel and talked about 3 different tribes with y'all 3 niggas up there. All y'all jiggerfoots to me, nigga. If we gonna go like that.
Niggas speak English.
Niggas just don't understand.
I don't speak English.
Let me do this.
You understand what the fuck I'm saying?
Hey, Granville, let me reset this right quick. Reese with the $2 says, "Hemp Caribbean people exist. Why is it FBA versus African? You can't get everybody.
They African. That's why.
You see this shit. We can barely get somewhere. Truth and reality. Red Pill Ranger with the $2 says, 400 students just got kidnapped in Nigeria. T.O. with the $2 says, with the Igbo is classism, not race or ethnicity.
Thank you.
Reese Anderson with the $5 says, I'm an African mutt. I got DNA matches who are Igbo, Yoruba, Fulani, Ghana, and I got Scottish/English DNA from the good old slave owner Jamaicans are worldwide. Omega Green with the $5 says, they believe themselves superior yet are unable to build a sustainable power grid, sewage system, or infrastructure on par with any first world nation. Lauren Mack with the $5 says, let's go, Granville! Exclamation point. They playing lightweight tonight. Ariane with the $5 says, if we're gonna hold Africans accountable, we have to hold Caribbeans accountable to growing up in New York. Every black race looked down on African Americans. So Solid with the $5 says, I'm behind. My bad. I never ever thought I'd see Illa and Chaotic on the same panel. This shit is epic and hilarious. Good job, Hamp. Salute. Ariane with the $10 says, Africans aren't the only ones. Caribbeans do it do it too. It's because they have a language and culture and moral code. Even if it's wrong, we are looked at as less because the things I list come from white men. Damn. Uncle Rico was popping with the 10 ounces. So why all the critique for Black Americans but zero critique for the white Americans? Why not critique all or do they white worship here like they do where they come from? Well, it's a topic of discussion, so that's what we're talking about. The Hood Haitian with the $5 says every culture has a nigga class. Black Americans do a horrible job separating themselves. The class system / mindset is real, from morals to economics. Bob with the $5 says Black Americans and Africans are just as different as whites with German ancestry and modern day German. Old Mac with the 20 ball says Africans do not view African Americans as equal. In their eyes, we are bastards and weak for being captured and sold by our African ancestors. The only time that we are not rejected is when they are willing to accept American money. Ranger with the $5 says, ask these Africans how they got to America and got rights, who stood up, got beat, died for them to get here. Ask them that shit.
Yeah, I think my dad just took a boat. I don't know if he did all that other shit.
Just Jim's with the 10 says, so Gway stopped being with quote unquote those other girls. As ask her, is that when she went to live with the guy, black, white, or African, who put her out after using her for 13 years? What makes her better? Reese Anderson with the $2 says, correct. You want to respond to this? Go ahead.
What's that?
Oh, you want to listen? No. Reese with the $2. Reese with the $2. Caribbeans and FBA have European DNA, kind of different. John Henry with the $5 says, Trigger Mike, that is not our DNA. It's behavior, part of our culture. Bob with the $5 says, Trigger drop a Black American in Africa. He would swim faster back to the USA than a speedboat slave ship. We are two different people. Bob with the $5 says, Hamp landing the airplane is Western civilization. Perhaps you should use signing the bail bond or pick the last banana. That's crazy. Just Jim with the 10 says, if the non-black men are married, what nationality are they married to? If black American women, why not your own? Did you need a way to citizenship or a sense of belonging, a way to be a part? Great. What does that mean? Just Jim with the 2 says, Mike and Tommy said, quote unquote, we have more money than whites. Untitled with the 2
more money than white people. What the fuck?
Chaotic Truth is a Nigerian tether cosplaying FBA. Ariane with the $2 says, let's see how smart black people are. What does nigga mean? Reese Anderson with the $5 says, there was always beef between Caribbeans and Africans in the UK. My dad tells me stories about how my grandfather hated Africans when he came from Jamaica. Omega Green with the $5 says, Hamp, please be more selective of what FBA representatives join a panel discussion like this. These guys severely lack the ability to convey a point.
Shut up.
T.O. with the $5 says, FBA was made up recently by Black Americans to exclude Africans and other Black foreigners. So how is that on Africans? Unwoke, LOL. Just Gems with the $2 says, Vil is the best. Oh, Illa is the best. Enjoy him on the other show too. EBD with the $5 says, America as it is today is in the context of changing an entire system of slavery through a history of blood rebellions and laws by the action of us men. Reese Anderson with the $2 says, Columbus discovered the Caribbean, not the USA. Nav with the $5 says, Hamp, we can't allow this. Moorish American with a lacrosse hat on, fuck we doing. Ariane with the $5 says, the Arab
like, what is that? Y'all stupid niggas. Yeah, but that's so funny because y'all just want to laugh. You don't want to read no fucking books though. You want to argue with niggas who read.
The Arabs enslaved us before the whites did. We don't talk about that. They taught them how to get them. Why do we pick and choose what wars and enslavements? Right. Uncle Pops was with the $5 says, great show. I'm FBA, but all of us need Nigerian parents. We run the world. Ariane with the $2 says, and we accept Islam just like we do Christianity. Dark Lake with the $2 says, good job, Illa. T.O. with the $5 says, the Africans are supposedly delineating, but the other side have been doing it the whole time with a stronger sentiment with no acknowledgement. Caesar's Palace with the $5. Hamp, Illa is on fucking fire. I hope people really understand the knowledge he is providing to us today. Damn, salute and keep holding the line. Gregory with the $10 says, where is Stokely Carmichael, Dick Tiger, and Roy Enos when we need them? Great Caribbean and Nigerian individuals that play key roles in the American Black Civil Rights Movement and Sports. Bloody Tie with the $2 salute. Sun Kiss, Shalom. All right, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. A friend and tell a friend, and we out.